Hi class, in this video I am going to go over the syllabus and also I'm going to show you how to navigate the course. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and go to our homepage. So once you click on the homepage, you're going to find my contact information. Here you have my email address. This is the best way to contact me. However, you can also contact me through Canvas inbox as well. And if you would like to meet with me during my office hours, I do have the link right here. This is the first time that I am having only Zoom office hours, so I'm hoping the link works throughout the entire semester. However, if you encounter any issues with the link, please let me know as soon as possible so that I can create a new link. But my office hours are from Monday through Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And I realize that these times might not work for everyone. So if they do not work for you, but you would like to meet with me or talk with me during office hours, I can always go ahead and schedule an appointment that works for both of our schedules. So please don't hesitate to make an appointment if you want to talk to me about an assignment or something's unclear or anything like that. This class is completely online, which means that we do not have any scheduled meetings or anything like that. However, if I notice that a lot of people have questions about one of the major assignments, like let's say a lot of people have questions about Essay 1, I will go ahead and I will schedule a Zoom meeting for the class so that we can all get together and I can go ahead and talk about the essay or about that specific assignment. So we're not having mandatory class meetings on Zoom. Everything's completely online. But like I said, if there is ever a need where the whole class or a lot of people want to go ahead and get together, I can go ahead and schedule a Zoom meeting for the class. The other thing you want to look at is you want to go ahead and look at the book that we need. So we did update the edition. So please keep in mind that that it's important to purchase the 4th edition because this edition also comes with an access card, and that access card is going to give you access to some digital resources, which I can go ahead and show you what it'll look like. So for example, this is what the ebook looks like. So as you can see, it has part 1, chapter 1, and you can go ahead and read the textbook just like you would a regular textbook. And then you can also go ahead and skip around, go to the table of contents, things like that. But it also has a lot more than just the textbook. So if we go back to the ebook, with the ebook there are certain tutorials that you can do. However, I'm not requiring that this semester, so you don't have to worry about the tutorials or anything like that. All we are using from these resources are the ebook, or if you decide to buy the textbook version, it'll still come with an access card. So what we're using is going to be the ebook, which I just showed you, and we're also going to use the little Seagull handbook. And once I show you the syllabus, you will see that I went ahead and I wrote down which sections to read. So like for example, one of the sections that we're going to read is this one, and as you can see, it's basically an ebook. It's a handbook, but it's an ebook. And of course you are expected to read that section, and then you can move on to the next page or the next section. This one is mostly divided up into sections instead of pages, so all you have to do is read the one that I assign. But we're not going to be using Inquisitive or the tutorials for a grade. However, if you want to go ahead and use that, you can. I believe that you can use them even though they're not for a grade. So just disregard this that says student grades. We are not using that this semester. They also have a They Say I blog, and we are probably going to use this for our final essay, so you don't have to worry about this right now. I will go ahead and provide further instructions later on. But yes, that is the ebook version. Now, of course, you are free to purchase a textbook if you'd like. I believe you can purchase them from our bookstore. Our bookstore is offering curbside pickup. However, If you do not want to purchase it there, you can go ahead and purchase it through Norton, or you can go ahead and purchase it online if you'd like. However, just keep in mind that if you do purchase it online, you might still have to purchase the Access card separately, and I believe the Access card separately is about $15. If you purchase the ebook and the Access card together, it's $20. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to go over is I wanted to go over the syllabus first. So to access the syllabus, you can go ahead and click on preview, click on the magnifying glass, or you can go ahead and click on syllabus to actually download it to your computer. For now, we're just going to preview it, and basically, again, it has a lot of the same information. It does have my phone number on here, which is my office phone number. As you all know, right now the campus is not open, so if you do call my office phone number, please make sure that you leave a voicemail so that that voicemail can get emailed to me, and then I can go ahead and call you back or email you or contact you in some way. So you can go ahead and read the syllabus on your own. Please make sure that you do read it, because there is a syllabus quiz that you have to take by the end of the first week. And I'm just going to go ahead and go over some of the important things that I feel might need a little bit more explanation. So if you go ahead and look here, like I said, the methods of instruction are completely online, so we do not have any scheduled meetings throughout the semester. Unless, of course, like I mentioned before, some people want to discuss a specific assignment, then I might schedule a Zoom meeting. However, those are not necessarily mandatory. So one of the things that you want to keep in mind is the Common Exit essay. So the Common Exit essay is an essay that is assigned to every single 110 class, and it's basically a pass or a fail. So if you don't pass it, you are not eligible to move on to the next class, which is English 111. However, don't worry too much about it, because if you don't pass it the first time, you get to revise it so that it becomes a pass. So really all you have to worry about is actually submitting it on time and then revising it if they tell you that there's anything that you need to revise. I've been teaching CCDE 110 for maybe about 12 years already, and to be honest with you, I've only had like one person who did not pass the class because he failed a Common Exit essay, and the reason he failed it was because he didn't revise. After he submitted it the first time, he didn't show up until like the final day of class, and I basically told him, oh, well, you have about 2 hours to revise it. And he had a lot of things to revise, so obviously he didn't finish. But for the most part, everybody who revises their essay, they pass, because the first time that you take the Common Exit essay, nobody can help you. But then when you start revising it, I can help you, tutors can help you, pretty much everybody can help you. So that's what I'm saying. Don't stress out too much about it, because it's more manageable than you think. Our other required assignment is a portfolio. So the portfolio is basically 3 assignments. The portfolio consists of a cover letter in which you reflect over the entire semester and you discuss how you have progressed as a writer and how you have developed as a reader, student, things like that. And then you also have a new essay, which is obviously it'll be assigned later on in the semester. And this essay, you start to incorporate a little bit of research and you start to select your own topics to prepare you for English 111. So that essay is more in sync with what you would see in an English 111 class. And then you have to revise either your Common Exit essay if you didn't pass it the first time, or if you do pass your Common Exit essay, you have to revise one of the other essays that we've done throughout the semester. So again, I do provide more specific instructions for the portfolio, and you can go ahead and look at that whenever we get to that. Okay, so let's look at the assignments. Let's look at the grading policy. To earn at least a C, you do have to attend and participate class. And what we mean by attend, it means that you log in frequently, that you are submitting your assignments on time, things like that. You also need to pass the common exit essay, whether it be the first or second time, and you also need to submit a passing portfolio. The assignments that we're going to have 2 essays. Each one is worth 100 points. The first essay is the literacy narrative, and the second essay is an argumentative essay. Then we have the common exit essay. The common exit essay is not worth any points, rather it's a pass or a non-pass. So if you pass it, that means you're eligible to pass the class. If you don't pass it, that means you can't pass the class. We also have 10 writing exercises, each worth 10 points, and these are typically due weekly. And then we also have 8 discussion questions. We have about 8 quizzes that total 50 points. And of course, attendance and participation. Like I said, you want to go ahead and be active. And then we also have the portfolio, which is worth 150 points. So if we look at the out-of-class work expectations, basically the formula says that you should spend about 2 to 3 hours of homework time outside of the classroom. Now, since we're doing this completely online, that means that maybe you should spend about 8 hours to 12 hours of homework on this class. Now, just keep in mind that that's like an estimate. For example, reading a chapter might take somebody an hour and a half. Well, some people, they might finish reading the chapter in 30 minutes or less. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes I'm the kind of person that I'm reading something, but I'm not really paying attention. So I have to go back and read it again. So that might take me longer to read. So just keep in mind that some things might take you longer and some things might take you less. But I think the whole point of this formula is that, if you, for example, the writing exercises that we do each week, that should take you at least like an hour to complete. If you're doing it in 5 minutes, then you're probably not developing your answers enough, or you're not reading something closely enough. So just keep that in mind, that really the assignments are not meant to be finished in 5 minutes or anything like that. When it comes to classroom management, like I mentioned before, this class is completely online, which means that we are going to be using Canvas. And basically what that means is that you want to make sure you have access to reliable internet, and also you have access to a computer, because some assignments like essays and things like that, it's easier if you submit them through a computer because of formatting and things like that. But you also want to make sure that you are responsible and independent, which means that you look at the modules on your own, that you look up the information. If you have any questions, you let me know. But also you look at the due dates, you look at the Canvas calendar. Simply saying something like, oh, I forgot when the assignment was due, that's not a valid excuse. Also keep in mind that computer malfunctions or Wi-Fi or internet connection issues are not considered excused. So if you have a problem with the internet or the computer, try to address that earlier in the week. Don't wait until 11:58 to submit something and then your computer crashes. Because if you wait to the last minute, chances are that something's going to go wrong or something's going to happen. I know a lot of us have been having a lot of internet issues throughout the summer. So, just don't wait to the last minute, because having computer issues is not a valid excuse. Which brings me to physical attendance for this class and late work. So like I said, physical attendance is mandatory, which means that you have to log in weekly, but that also means that you're submitting assignments on a weekly basis. It doesn't just mean that you log in but you don't submit anything. And of course, when it comes to late work, I don't accept late work. When the assignment closes, the assignment closes. So don't think the assignment closes tonight at 11:59. I can submit it tomorrow. No, I close the assignment when it is due. Now, I am a very flexible and understanding person, so if you have some sort of issue going on, if there is just something that's preventing you from submitting an assignment on time, please let me know, but please email me first. Don't just email me the assignment without asking first, because I might tell you, oh, okay, you missed that assignment. Let me go ahead and open it up for you. Or I might tell you, just go ahead and email me the assignment because it's already closed on Canvas. So just make sure that you ask me first. Also, don't wait until the end of the semester to let me know that you were having some sort of issue. I believe that communication is key. So if there's something that's preventing you from turning in assignments on time, just let me know right away. That way maybe we can try to work something out. However, with anything, we have to be reasonable because, for example, now that everything's online, there's only so much makeup work or late work that I can allow because you're expected to submit work and spend outside homework time for the class. So for example, if I let you submit a few assignments late, that means that you were not putting in the class time for that week or 2 weeks. So, just keep that in mind, that me as a teacher and as someone who follows DACC policy, there is only so much late work that I can allow because, again, the policy states that you have to be doing outside work per week, at least 8 to 12 hours per week. So in case you were ever wondering why teachers assign a lot of homework, is because that's the policy and it involves financial aid and it involves the school. So that's why we assign a lot of homework. So I say all that to say, just make sure you submit your work on time. Try to not fall behind. But if something comes up, I understand that life can be really, really hectic. So, I'll go ahead and make accommodations if necessary. Also, please keep in mind that if you feel you have a learning disability, or like for example, let's say you break your hand and you need special accommodations because of typing, because breaking your hand prevents you from typing, you do have to contact the student office. That way they can go ahead and send me a memo and let me know what type of accommodations you need. I cannot provide accommodations for anyone unless I get a memo from the student's accessibility office. And when it comes to courtesy, you want to make sure that you are respectful to your classmates and myself at all times. You want to make sure that you do not say anything hateful or derogatory or anything like that. Also, it's important that, since we're going to be discussing certain issues that lend themselves to controversy, debate, and arguments, it's important that we keep an open mind and that we respectfully disagree if we need to. But we can disagree without being mean and disrespectful to each other. So here we have the important dates that you want to keep an eye out for. And then over here we have the tentative schedule. So basically what I did was I divided it up into 3 columns. Here we have the date. Here we have what you're supposed to read. And then here we have the due date. So for example, for this week, you're supposed to read the syllabus and the article for the diagnostic. I'll talk about the diagnostic right now. And then what you have due is the quiz over the syllabus and discussion number 1, which is introductions. So next week, we're going to discuss paragraph structure. So you have to read the instructions for the first essay. You also have to read W4 section from the Little Seagull Handbook. You have to go over the Brainstorming Techniques PowerPoint. And you have to read the introduction and chapter 13 of They Say, I Say. And these are the assignments we have due. So as you can see, I do list everything that you have to read, and I even mention from which book it is. So if it says They Say, I Say, that means it's from that textbook. If I write down the Little Seagull Handbook, then it means it's from that handbook. And if it says Canvas, then it probably means that you can find it as a file or as a link. And if I don't include anything, like for example, Se Habla Español, I didn't include anything, but that means it's on Canvas. So if you don't see anything next to the reading title, then it means that you can find it on Canvas. Okay? So that concludes our discussion of the syllabus. Please let me know if you have any questions over the syllabus. Now we are going to go ahead and talk about how to navigate the course. So we are back on our home page, and I should say that our course is mostly already set up, but there are some quizzes and assignments that I still need to add. So please just keep that in mind, that it's still under construction, so to speak. And also, if you ever notice any broken links or you notice any mistakes, please let me know, because sometimes it's my mistake or sometimes it's Canvas that there's a glitch or something like that. So if you notice anything like a mistake with the due dates, broken links, you know, anything that's not showing up like it should be, just let me know and I can go ahead and fix it. So the first thing you want to do after you've gone over the syllabus is you want to go ahead and click on the Getting Started page. Basically, here you want to go ahead and read the introduction to the course. Here you will see this video, which is the course navigation video, and you will also see my modes of communication. Basically, it takes me 24 to 48 hours to reply to you. Sometimes sooner, sometimes it takes me 24 to 48 hours. Typically on the weekends is when I don't check my email that much. But if I don't reply to you within that time, then that means that I probably did not see your email. So please feel free to email me again. When it comes to grading, it typically takes me about 5 to 10 days. However, sometimes I do fall behind because I am an English teacher, so that's primarily what I teach, which means that I have to read a lot of essays and a lot of writing assignments and things like that. So sometimes I do fall behind, but if I fall behind, I will go ahead and post it under announcements. Something I forgot to mention when it comes to modes of communication, I do post announcements every single week, so make sure that you look at the announcements every single week. I post them on Mondays, but it's very, very important that you keep up with the announcements because this is where I post important information. So as you can see here, I talk a little bit about the textbook. I even provide a link. So that link takes you to the publisher's website. And as you can see right here, you can go ahead and purchase it from the publisher for $20. So that's in the announcement. And then I also have a link to the syllabus and I tell you what you should do for this week. So that's typically what I do with announcements. Every single Monday, I post an announcement for that week, and I basically outline what you should do for that week. So it's important to keep up with your syllabus, but it's also important to look at the announcements because I provide updates. I also list extra credit options. The extra credit basically consists of workshops, attending tutoring workshops from the Academic Readiness Center via Zoom. So if there are ever any workshops that come up, I let you know through announcements. So please make sure that you look at the announcements on a weekly basis. Okay, so let's get back to our Getting Started page. And like I said, with this page, I talk a little bit about grading. I always provide feedback, except for like quizzes. With quizzes, it shows you the right answer, but I don't really provide feedback for quizzes. I do provide feedback for every other assignment. And I do want to say that feedback is meant to be constructive, so please don't take it personally. If I do say that you need to work on something, I'm not saying it to hurt your feelings. I am simply saying it so that you can improve your writing. And if you ever have any questions about feedback or your grade, I am always happy to discuss it with you. And because I leave comments on the submission comment box and I also leave comments on the actual assignment itself and the rubric, it can be a little bit tricky to view all of those three. So I do have a handout that explains how to do it, and then I also have this video that shows you how to submit an assignment in case you are new to Canvas. And NMSU uses a Turnitin plagiarism software, and basically what this does, it scans your paper and it lets you know what percentage of it is plagiarized. Now, I don't use this to try to catch you plagiarizing. I use it so that you can find out if you're plagiarizing before you submit it. So I suggest that you submit your essay early on. If it tells you you have a high percentage, go back and fix it and then submit it again. Okay? So again, it's there to help you avoid plagiarism. It's not meant to catch you doing anything or keeping you from, I'm not trying to catch you or keeping you from getting a good grade. I'm using it as a helpful tool because I know a lot of students, they worry about plagiarism and they want to know if they plagiarize, but you don't find out until it's graded. So this lets you know before you submit it so you don't get in trouble. I also have a link to extra credit options and policies. Like I said, it's mostly going to be workshops. So if you attend those workshops via Zoom, you do get either 5 points extra credit or you get 10 points extra credit for writing a summary. You also can get extra credit by submitting your essays to the Academic Readiness Center, to the writing tutors, and filling out a summary of tutoring form. So you can find that information here. Also, if you are interested in writing tutoring, I have to add you to the course, or the tutor coordinator has to add you. So please email me if you want to be added to that so that I can send the coordinator a list of names of people who want to be added to the writing tutoring Canvas page. When it comes to your essays, all essays are double spaced and you can use Times New Roman 12-point font or Calibri 11-point font. If you have any questions about Canvas, I do have a link to the frequently asked questions. And also, if you're new to Canvas, they do offer online training. They're not offering face-to-face training, so you can go ahead and click there. And I also have the information for Canvas support. I also have Netiquette for online classes. So if you've never taken an online class, there's certain things that you have to adhere by whenever you are typing discussions or communicating with your classmates. And basically what that means, like for example, avoid all caps because this implies shouting. Also avoid slang. You have to make sure you use academic English, things like that. And then of course I have the information for the textbook over here. And I tell you what you need to do to get started. Next, I do want to point out that you have access to Office 365 for free. So if you don't have Word or PowerPoint or Excel, you can go ahead and download them for free by going to this website. And just let me tell you that 2 years ago, I bought a new laptop, and I was going to purchase Microsoft Word, but then I realized how expensive it was, so I just decided to download this onto my laptop, and it worked really well. This summer I bought a new laptop, and it's a Mac, and I also downloaded it, and it works really well with the Mac. So I use my PC, I use my Mac, and I'm able to use Office 365 on both because I downloaded them. So I definitely encourage you to do this if you don't have Microsoft Office, because this is free and you get it because you're an NMSU student or DACC student. So please make sure that you download this if you don't have access to it. Next, I also recommend that you set your notifications. Like I mentioned, announcements, submission comments. Those are things that you want to check, and Canvas actually notifies you whenever I post an announcement or whenever I grade something and I posted a comment or anything like that. So this explains how to set your notifications on the computer, and it also explains how to set them on your phone, because I recommend that you download the Canvas app. That way you can just check on your phone and things like that. I really don't recommend submitting work through your phone. I know sometimes we have no other options, but for the most part, I recommend using your computer. But I do recommend that you set up your notifications on both. And then here we have a student guide to Zoom. So I posted a lot of information on Zoom, and you can go ahead and read this, some frequently asked questions that students might have. And then over here we have a Zoom code of conduct, which basically means that, these are things you should do when you're in a Zoom meeting. And they're pretty straightforward. It's basically, make sure we can see your face, make sure you're using a proper ID, make sure that you arrive on time, things like that, especially because with Zoom, there have been some security issues, not at NMSU, but in other institutions. So it's important that you're in a well-lit place, that you're dressed appropriately, things like that. And then of course here are some instructions for students in case you are new to Zoom. This shows you how to go ahead and use it. And actually you can use Zoom because it is linked on Canvas, and we also have the Academic Readiness Center linked on Canvas as well, so you can just go ahead and click there if you'd like. And you can even email me, or you can email the tutor coordinator if you want to be added to the Writing Tutoring Canvas page. Next, we have the General Help and Questions Forum. This is a discussion board, and basically this stays open the entire semester, and you can post any questions you might have. Like for example, if you have a question about a workshop that's coming up, if you have a question like if you want to start a study group, if you have a question about a chapter, or if you're having issues opening up a file, you can go ahead and post the question here, and I can reply to you or somebody else can reply to you. Basically, this is something that everybody can see. So if you do have like a specific question about your own situation or about your own grade, don't post it here. Send me an email. This is mostly for like questions that you might have and that you feel that other people might have as well. And moving on, here we have the summary of tutoring session that I mentioned. So let me go back to modules just so I can show you. So I do have a Pandemic Information and Resource Center, and then this is the module we were going over right now. And the last part of it is this extra credit, and that's the summary of tutoring session that I was talking about. So basically the way this class is designed is that I design it by subject area, not by week. So like for example, if you want to learn more about summary and responses, you can look at this module, Writing Tools module. You can go ahead and take a look at that. This one has a lot of really helpful resources like transitions, introductions, conclusions. So I really encourage you to look at this one. And then of course our first essay, we have a module devoted to that. For our second essay, we have 2 modules devoted to that. So please make sure that you look over the modules. I already talked about the announcements. Let me briefly talk about discussions. When it comes to discussions, I still have to add a few more. Like I said, some parts of the class are still under construction. But basically what you have to do for the discussions is you have to make sure that you respond to the original post, and your response to the original post should be due by Thursday, okay? And the reason why I have that due date is because you want to go ahead and post by Thursday, because sometimes I have students who want to finish their discussions on Friday, but they have nobody to respond to. So in order to avoid and prevent everyone from posting something on Saturdays, you want to go ahead and post your first post, which is replying to me, by Thursday, and then by Saturday, you have until Saturday to respond to a classmate. I didn't go over that information in the syllabus, but basically for the discussions, discussions are due on Saturdays. First post is due by Thursdays. Even though it doesn't specifically say the due date is Thursday, keep that in mind. Writing exercises are due on Sundays, and quizzes are due on Saturdays. And of course the essays, they have their own specific due date. So all you have to do for the discussions is click on reply, and then you can go ahead and type your response. And then you just click on post reply. If you want to edit it, you can go ahead and edit it, but this is basically what it is going to look like whenever we have a lot of people posting. So the next thing and the last thing I'll talk about is the diagnostic. So basically what the diagnostic is, it is an assignment that every 110 has to complete, and it is not for a grade. So basically if you complete it, you get a check mark. If you don't complete it, you get an X, and it affects your participation grade. So basically the English department wants to know what kind of writer you are. So they have an assignment where they have you read an article, and then they have you answer this question in an argumentative essay. So you have to read this article first, and then your essay has to respond to this prompt right here. Now for this assignment, I can't help you because the whole point of it is to see what you know and how you write and things like that. So just go ahead and write your essay like you think an essay should be done. And then I'm going to use the 110 rubric to go ahead and provide feedback. Now the whole point of this is for you to know what you need to work on in preparation for the common exit essay. So this is the same rubric that we use for the common exit essay, and that's the point of the diagnostic, so that you know what you need to work on so that you can prepare yourself for the common exit essay. So there we have the instructions. Then we have a link to the assignment itself, and you can go ahead and submit the assignment here. In the student version, it should have a burgundy box that says submit assignment. So that's how you submit it. And here is the diagnostic article in case you want to go ahead and access it from here instead of from the instruction page. So this is due on August 24th. It is due on a Monday because it's supposed to be due on the first week of class, but because we have a short week, I decided to have it due on Monday. So that concludes our syllabus and introduction to the course video. I know that it was rather long, but there was a lot of information that we needed to go over. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I will be glad to answer them, and I look forward to working with you all this semester.